nice crowd, yeah, seriously.
For the singing of God Bless America, performed by Red Raider assistant coach Frank Rossi.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the ocean, while afar, God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Thank you, Coach Ross.
Did they do captains and stuff already?
St. Francis had won the toss and elected to defer to the second half. Do we have a parent in the crowd that would like to join the chain gang? We need one more individual for the chain. We cannot start the game until we find a chain gang member. All right, we got somebody. Thank you very much. Just double time.
Good evening, Western New York High School sports fans, and welcome to WNYathletics.com for tonight's huge high school football matchup. It is a Monday night edition clash of a public versus private school clash. It is St. Francis, the Red Raiders, playing host to the Western New York Maritime Health Sciences Falcons. John Simon here alongside Tom Frintz for what was a little bit of an unexpected matchup. We knew about this a few days in advance, but we're here. Like I said, it's a Monday night, and this could be one of the most exciting games here in Western New York all spring.
I can say it. Are you ready for some football? I mean, come on. We got it. We got exactly what everybody's been asking for. A private versus a public. We got one this year. We got a great matchup. We got a number one in the small schools versus one of the top programs here in Western New York. We got exactly what we're looking for. We got Division I prospects out on this field. We've got great football coaches. We got everything you could ask for and more. To me, right now, the one thing you're going to look at in this game, which I believe is the difference in this game, is the battle of the trenches. Who's going to win that battle of the lines? Because that's going to be the difference in this game. Early on, on paper, right? That's what we talk about. On paper, I'm looking at St. Francis has got a tough line, defensive line and offensive line. And they're going to have to stop. I'm going to tell you right now, you don't stop Jimmy Scott for St. Francis at that defensive end, it's going to be a long day for Maritime. But at the same time, watch out. There are great players all over the place, especially when you see one of the best special teams I've ever seen in Western New York in Addison Copeland. And are they going to let him a chance to be able to do something on the return, or are they going to keep it away from him?
Well, we will see what Maritime Health Sciences does on the opening kick. They are set to receive from St. Francis, the Red Raiders in the red unis with the gold tops and pants. And they kick it off to the Falcons, and there's Copeland back to return from inside the 10. Gets up to the 20 and a little bit past it, but St. Francis doing a nice job on the first play of the game, keeping one of the best athletes in Western New York contained on that return.
Absolutely, and that was a great stop right there. And they're going to take it off, right, literally at the 21-yard line, 22-yard line, where they're going to start here. This is where you're going to see early on, right? Can this offensive line that probably has not been tested yet for Maritime stand up to the test? But there are some big players out here, right? We've got Gray at 280. You got Houston at 275. Now you got to step up.
And we'll see it 1st and 10 from about the 21 or 22 of Maritime. And this is something else that could hurt the Falcons today, or either side, really. But we got a flag, and it's a false start against Maritime, so that's going to back them up 5 yards to start here. Another note, Tom, on the Maritime Health Sciences Falcons, they will be starting a different quarterback today than we've seen through the first 2 games.
Yes, unfortunately, their main quarterback's not in town right now, so they will go to their back. But it's not like their backup has not seen action. He knows action. He can absolutely take over the helm.
Yeah, it's senior Marvin Royster, number 11, under center today, and plays for Zion Washington. And on the first snap there, they hand it off. That's, I believe, Mekhi Bridgers who gets it to the outside there, and it looks like he's close enough for a first down.
It looks like we've got an injured St. Francis player over on the sideline right at the sticks right there.
And that was Vaughn on the carry for Maryvale, and I should have assumed that was Maurice Vaughn because he had a huge game in their Week 2 matchup against Maryvale. A pair of rushing touchdowns, one from about 45 yards out, another from about 25. And as you mentioned, Tom, Maritime Health Sciences, a lot of key pieces on that offense, a lot of speed guys. He is one of them to watch out for alongside Addison Copeland.
And you can see when these guys are going to get to the outside and be able to get into any sort of open space, watch out. These guys can run, and they can run real well when they get into that open space. What I like right there is you're never going to be able to run on any team without some sort of push, right?
Right.
And there you go. First sign that Maritime looks good when you get ultimately almost a 15-yard gain. What is it, 13-yard gain, 14-yard gain?
Yeah.
Right there. That's a big start.
And it's nice for Maritime getting a big gain just after taking a penalty on their first snap.
Gain of 14 on play, 2nd and 1.
And it will be 2nd and 1 for the Falcons. So they're out around the 30 of St. Francis here for this 2nd and short play. Royster under center now, and we've got more movement on the line. And that's going to move the ball somewhere. We'll see how the refs assess this.
Full start. Falcons.
And that's going to be another false start call against Maritime. So couple penalties just holding back the Falcons so far. But their one play that they've ran was a positive one. So you got to be happy with that.
Notice where that false start comes in right up against what we talked about, head-to-head right there with Jimmy Scott, where you know that he's going to do everything he can to get in. So in other words, you're trying to do everything to be able to block him, and sometimes you're going to start early. That's right there was a key matchup we talked about. That's where that false start came from.
So Royster under center. Takes the snap, hands it off, and that's going to be Vaughn. It looked like he was going to be swallowed up the middle, but he gets outside to the left and gains a couple extra yards there before being knocked out of bounds.
Great second effort right there. that was all on him, right? He turned something out of nothing right there. Great second effort as he bounces off and gets to the outside.
And I should make a note. Marvin Royster appears to be wearing a different number than what he's listed on the roster. The quarterback is number 4, but we were told before the game by Coach Ty Parker that Royster is their starter today. So that is him under center. 3rd and 1 here for the Falcons. Quickly hands it off, and it looks like the Red Raiders defense is going to get another nice stop.
And it looked like Balam Miller, the defensive end sophomore, ready for this? Sophomore, 6'5", 258-pounder is the first one in on the tackle right there.
Yeah, they don't make many that age, that size. So we'll see what.
We're going to be talking about somebody else out here that's even bigger and even younger, which is even funnier.
Oh, we'll be getting there. Don't you worry. We got plenty of anecdotes to hang on to. There's only 1 minute's gone by, Tom. You know, we got 47 minutes of football left here.
Hey, I can talk with the best of them, John. You know that.
I know it. So it'll be 4th and 1 here, but not far enough down the field. Health Sciences is to risk going for it. It looks like the Falcons will punt this one away. Copeland will be the one to do it, and he gets it away with the left foot, but it's not going to go too far. They're going to down it on the wrong side of the 50. And, Tom, we're going to see the St. Francis offense come out for the first time with very favorable field position.
Oh, no doubt. And they're going to be led by a sophomore quarterback, right? And I thought he looked very good. So Steve Otremba Jr. is going to be the sophomore 5'10" quarterback that you're going to see take the lead here for St. Francis. Saw his first game. In his first game, what does he get? He gets Canisius right out of the bat is what he goes. And then they go down and play another tough game down in Corning. So I'm telling you, he is learning a ton under fire right here against some of the top teams, which is going to make him better, better, and better.
And he's going to be going up against the defense today that hasn't given up any points through the first 2 games this season. And there on the first play, he sees why the Falcons have been so successful on that side of the ball this year. They get to him on the first play. That's a sack for Maritime. And that was made by Makai Bridgers, tackle. So it's loss of 3. 2nd and 13 now for the Red Raiders. And St. Francis just making some substitutions. Had to get somebody off the field before running the play. 2nd down snap, handoff there to Clark. And he's met by a few tacklers, but it's able to pick up a few more yards before the ball pops out. But I think they ruled him down before.
So I don't know if you saw it, John. We were going to get a chance to talk about that player that we were going to bring up. Did you see who they ran behind? They ran behind number 73, Marcus Harrison right there. The freshman tackle, 6'5", 281 as a freshman.
Pretty big body. He certainly caught my eye during warm-ups. 3rd and 5 chance here for St. Francis, but that run attempt snuffed out by the Falcons defense. And now the Red Raiders have a decision to make. It is their first drive. They're somewhat in 4-down territory, so we'll see if they challenge the Health Sciences defense here.
4th down and 5.
I think they're going to go for this.
No reason not to. I mean, you forced a quick 3 and out from Health Sciences on their first possession. It's very early in the game.
But remember, a couple penalties helped out in that, and you could pin them down right there with a punt, right?
That's very true. So we'll see what they do here. But, yeah, it appears St. Francis is going to go for it here on 4th and 5. And now we get a timeout by the Red Raiders. We'll see if they talk this over, maybe rethink what they're going to do here.
We've got our first score update. We got another game going on tonight as Amherst is taking on North Tonawanda. Amherst has taken a 7-0 lead at halftime right now as they lead North Tonawanda 7-0.
Had a big Class A matchup. A lot of matchups going on throughout the week. I mean, just with the way that COVID has affected the season, it seems like there are being high school games played every single night of the week now. And, we're happy about that. I'm sure people that are watching are happy about that. But it certainly makes for more hectic and chaotic nights, just trying to keep up with everything. But as bad as COVID has been and as much as it has negatively impacted high school football here in Western New York, the nice thing is, or at least a silver line you can pull from it, is we wouldn't have this game going on right in front of us if it wasn't for COVID.
So I just got told, right, we've got Max Preps didn't update all the rosters, or they put it beginning of the season. Apparently this freshman's grown even more. He's 6'7", 295 is what he is.
So 4th and 5 here for St. Francis. They're back out on the field. It still looks like the Red Raiders are going to go for it here. Otremba Jr. back in the shotgun. Takes the snap, looks, throws, and that pass just going to go in the dirt. Was looking for Noah Koonsman on that one. And that's going to be a turnover on downs. A nice stop by the Falcons defense.
Both defenses step up big right there in the first different drives. So let's see what happens right here, as now they've both got a chance to feel each other out a little bit, right? What to expect, what to see defensively. Big matchups. But I'll tell you, I said Maritime, the one thing we were going to look for was in the trenches, and boy, they look good so far in the trenches, I'll tell you that.
I will say the one thing, though, for St. Francis is if they can get Maritime off to a slow start scoring-wise, that may rattle the Falcons a little bit, because through the first 2 games this year, they're used to putting points up early. And on 1st and 10 here, we get a run for Bridgers, and he runs out past the 50, and it appears like he got enough for a first down.
Bridges, ball carrier.
And then on the flip side, if Maritime scores, is that a momentum thing? Is that something that they really believe we can do this? Can we win a game like this? Can we beat one of the best teams out here in Western New York? Those are all the things going through their head too.
Certainly no. Head coach Ty Parker told us before the game he was up a little bit more for a private school team facing his. So 1st and 10 here from the St. Francis 47. Hand off to Bridgers again. He breaks through 1 tackle, picks up another yard or 2. Nice gain again for Bridgers as Health Sciences in St. Francis territory for the first time.
2 very nice runs there by Bridgers too. You could see they're looking too to run almost up the middle originally, right? Even when they broke out to the outside, the run started up the middle, and then it was a bounce off to break to the outside.
Which is telling you just what you said, Tom. Ty Parker's putting trust in his offensive line, and he's giving them the chance to show their advantage early in the trenches.
He said it. We're going to have guys that need to step up today.
So it looks like 2nd and 5 here. Royster under center. Quick handoff. Goes to Bridgers again, and he runs ahead for a couple yards.
I think that one. Yeah.
So that was a short gain.
Sam Mackay with the carry. Gain of 1 on the play. Number 1, Jimmy Scott.
And it'll be 3rd and 4 for Health Sciences now. Falcons will keep 3 players in the backfield behind Royster under center, just 1 receiver out wide to each side. Takes the snap, handoff. That one's Bridgers. He's got nowhere to go. Goes to the outside, and now the ball's knocked out, and the Red Raiders have it. Bridgers collided with one of his blockers running to the outside, and the ball was knocked out. St. Francis recovered, and what a play by the Red Raiders. They got the ball back here.
Shane Roberts is who actually came up with that, the 6', 190-pound quarterback. Boy, that's a big play right there. Not only do you have the stop, but then you get your team even better field position, almost the exact field position they had in the last drive to start off.
Yeah, I was just about to say they're really right in that exact same spot. So St. Francis gets the first turnover for either side in this one, and now they got a chance to get the first points in this game as they get a run on first down here from Ricardo Kidd, and that's enough to move the chains.
Number 2, Ricardo Kidd with the
Kidd.
On the tackle was number 52, Isaiah Jean-Pierre, the defensive end, senior, 6'4", 190-pounder.
And Kidd, another young piece on the St. Francis team, just a sophomore in the backfield right now. Here's Kidd again on a first down touch, and he breaks through some more tackles for another first down. So back-to-back runs here from Ricardo Kidd have the Red Raiders in business. They've covered over 20 yards in just 2 plays, Tom, and now they're just about on the inside of the Health Sciences red zone.
Doing the same thing Maritime was doing to them, run the ball right up the middle.
Here's Kidd again, makes a nice cut through the middle, And he gets inside the 10 and even brings the pile inside the 5.
3 runs straight up the middle, right? Straight up the middle, and look at the holes that are being created. Now you're seeing the line for St. Francis doing what we expected they were going to do in this game.
Yeah, and you just look at the right or the left side of that Red Raiders offensive line, just between our guy Marcus Harrison, the 6'5 freshman, or the 6'7 freshman, I should say. I forgot his measurements have changed, but Brendan Reed as well, the tight end, 6'6", 235, blocking on that side. They're making it look easy. First and goal here, handoff to Kidd. He plows his way through and past the goal line. Touchdown, Red Raiders. So a 5-yard rushing score there for Ricardo Kidd. Gets St. Francis on top 6-0 here, a little over midway through the first quarter.
That wasn't some impressive running. I mean, that whole drive was run straight up the middle. Let's run right behind our offensive line. They created the holes, and he took advantage of them. What a great drive, all by the run right there.
And now it'll be Luke Nowak, the junior, on to kick the extra point for St. Francis. A little bit of a low snap, but it's easily handled. And he knocks it through to make it 7-0 Red Raiders. So St. Francis with the 7-0 lead here, 5:28 to go in the first quarter. We've seen both offenses come onto the field twice so far, and really the big difference was the turnover. And Tom, like you said, battle's got to be won in the trenches. And St. Francis' offensive line really just showed its dominance on that 4-play scoring drive.
And look, they really did run behind Harrison on those. He was actually playing right off the center right there, and they went right up the middle right behind him. He did a great job of opening up the holes, and I'll tell you, we talked about a lot of players on here that are already being looked at by Division I players. Mm-hmm. This is one that's definitely going to be there. And from what we were told, I guess his father played at the University of Iowa. Mm-hmm. So we already know he's got the roots right there, and there's no doubt we're going to see him at a Division I, school at one point. And he's also a basketball player to boot, so no doubt he's got athletic ability to go along with that size.
Yeah, definitely good to work on footwork in the off season during basketball season. That's great for an offensive lineman.
Maybe a fight what sport gets him, right? Maybe the fight what sport.
So St. Francis about ready to kick off here, up 7-0. 5.5 to go in the opening quarter. Ricardo Kidd's 5-yard touchdown run, the difference maker so far in this one. And this is the first time Maritime has trailed all season. That's the first points that they've given up all year. They won their first game of the season 30-0 over Olean, and then defeated Maryvale week 2, 50-0, and now they try an onside kick here, but it's quickly recovered at midfield by Maritime. That was
recovered by the Falcons.
Number 55. And that's just a nice heads-up play by someone who, isn't typically on the hands team, but that's a heads-up play. Might not have expected that coming there.
First and 10.
And if we're missing, we apologize, a name here along the way. It's just not on our roster, right? We have rosters to help us with that, but unfortunately some numbers don't have names there. So we apologize if we didn't give you a name.
So first and 10 for Maritime Health Sciences. They're right at midfield here, so this is the best starting field position for any Falcons drive so far in this one. Royster takes the snap, hands it off to Bridgers. Breaks one tackle, but he's going to get stopped right at the line of scrimmage and then pushed back a yard or two. But I think they're going to mark it as a no gain with the forward progress.
Miller does a good job of getting into the backfield on that one. Do you see him actually gets the jersey of Bridgers, which kind of pushes him back a little bit, and then has to fight forward. But by that time, then the rest of the defensive line comes up and be able to get that tackle.
So we're inside 5 minutes in the first quarter now. St. Francis still up 7-0. Maritime looking to answer. Their backs are against the wall for the first time so far in this fall 2/spring football season. 2nd and 10. Royster in the shotgun now. Pair of receivers to each side. Drops back, quickly gets rid of it, but that one over the head of Jameer Thomas, his intended receiver.
I think that was their first pass right there of the day.
Yeah. And they threw the ball pretty well against Maryville. You know, Copeland had a couple catch and run touchdowns. If you get him the ball in space, I mean, he's going to beat guys no matter what secondary is covering him.
I agree. You're talking about a guy that's got somewhere in the upwards of 8 offers right now at the Division I level. And on the flip side, Jimmy Scott has got something like 20 different offers out there. Originally committed to Tennessee. Unfortunately, has changed his mind from Tennessee due to the changes in the coaching staff over there. But, boy, you're going to be talking about a kid that's going to go somewhere big time.
3rd and 10 now. Maritime handing it off to Copeland on the end around. And he's going to get knocked down for no gain. Once again, the Red Raider defense quickly snuffing out those speed guys for Health Sciences.
And we already talked about him as Shane Roberts has come up big already when he caused that fumble. Now he has a big tackle right there on Copeland.
And Shane Roberts, one of the seniors on this St. Francis team, head coach Jerry Smith said they're somewhat of a young team, and they do have a good veteran presence, but even their seniors are still somewhat young experience-wise, so good to see some of those upperclassmen stepping up big here early for the Red Raiders.
It looks like they're going to punt again right here as you see Copeland going to the punt formation.
And hopefully, for the Falcons' sake, they get a better one off than their first. It went only about 10, 15 yards. They're punting just inside midfield, so they have a chance to pin St. Francis relatively far back on their side here. Copeland takes a snap, gets his left-footed punt away, and it takes somewhat of a favorable bounce for the Falcons, and it goes out just around the St. Francis 25. So a nice punt there by Copeland will send the Red Raider offense back out, looking to add to their 7-0 lead. And, Tom, their second drive of the game was as productive as we've seen from anybody this year.
Yeah, I mean, literally, you just saw them go right, run, try to stop us. That's exactly what they did, St. Francis, on that last one. Now let's see what they come out and do. Can that defensive line right now make some big stops, or do we see St. Francis doing just what they did last time, and that's run the ball?
And they do have Ricardo Kidd back out there, number 2 in red. He touched the ball on every single play for St. Francis on their last drive, including the score. But this is a handoff to Clark, and now he breaks out to the right side for a big gain. Clark goes down the sideline. He's being chased, now cuts to the middle, inside the 20, 15, 10, touchdown, St. Francis. Camille Clark with a 75-yard scamper, and you can put that one on the highlight reel. This one is now all Red Raiders here in the first.
Highlight reel, that's going to be all over social media on that one. Did you see him? He took off. First of all, the speed you saw in him, and then to be able to break tackles and make sure he wasn't tackled over on that sideline to cut back towards the middle. Unbelievable run right there to give St. Francis now what looks like going to be a 14-0 lead. Wow, that's all I got to say. Wow.
I mean, there was definitely a chance St. Francis was going to strike there as Nowak drills the extra point home to make it 14-0. We had a feeling that they could keep the momentum going on that drive, score another touchdown, but I did not think it was going to come that fast. One play, 175-yard run for Clark, and that now makes it 14-0 St. Francis. 2 touchdowns, Tom, in a little less than 2.5 minutes. I mean, this has been quite a run right now for the Red Raiders.
But it's everything that we talked about prior to this game, right? What did we say was going to be the difference in this game? We said it right from the start. Look at the line play. And when you see a team that's running the ball right now as effectively they are, you look to the trenches. You go right to the trenches. What's happening with the matchups? Are the holes being created because they're getting created because of the offensive line? And you're just seeing right now that offensive line of St. Francis take over, and the running backs are just now doing their thing because they're seeing the holes and the space is getting created. Now, don't get me wrong. Your running backs are doing some fantastic things out there, too. That was phenomenal what you just saw. But it gets created early on because of what your offensive line did, though.
Right. I was going to say, first 10 yards of that run for Clark, give credit to the offensive line. From there, I mean, that was all him. That was as impressive as a touchdown run is going to get.
No doubt.
And, as I said, it gives St. Francis all the momentum here. Still 3:11 to play in the first quarter. But a 2-score lead already for the Red Raiders, looking to get their first win of the season here, off to an 0-2 start. Nowak gets the kickoff away. This one's going to go over the head of Copeland and into the hands of Thomas. He crosses the 20 and out past the 25, but gets brought down just shy of the 30. So Health Science is going to have to go a ways here if they want to cut this deficit down.
John, we got one of the best producers here with us today, Tim Gardner, right now. And I'm going to tell you, I know he got that highlight, and that's going to be all over the place when he puts that one out.
So 3:06 now for Health Sciences in the first quarter here. Certainly no rush for the Falcons, but you definitely don't want to dig this hole any deeper. They're going to have to get something started here. Their offense is off to a relatively slow start compared to how their first 2 games have gone. Royster in the shotgun on 1st and 10. Drops back, throws that one, and it's going to soar into their sideline once again, looking for Thomas there on the outside.
Royster's pass incomplete.
You know, but we could talk to you just about how dominant this Western New York Maritime is in their class. When you talk about that 30-0 win over Olean, Olean right now is ranked inside the small school polls tied the 10th. So you're talking about Maritime, which is ranked 1, Olean, which is ranked 10th, loses 30-0. Mm-hmm. It just shows how deep and how good these guys are in their division.
Yeah, and that game at Maryvale, week 2, or their second game, I guess it was, I can't keep track of what games are week 1 or week 2, but that was, you know, a shellacking. They were up 36-0 at halftime. 2nd and 10 here, Royster with a screen pass on the outside to Bridgers.
Royster's pass complete to Copeland.
Or actually, it was Copeland on the outside there, so finally getting number 1, his first catch of the evening.
It looked like on the tackle was number 11, Nate Henrich, the defensive end for St. Francis.
But with the catch, it's still going to be a 3rd and long situation here for Health Sciences. They didn't pick up any yards, and that's been one of the issues for them so far in this game. They haven't been able to sustain any drives, and when they've faced 3rd down situations, they've always seemingly been 3rd and long. But looking to avoid a 4th punt to start this game. 4 wide for Royster, running back to his left. Takes the snap, sees some pressure, looks to scramble through it. He's going to have to run it himself, but he's brought down right at the line of scrimmage. And in there on the tackle for St. Francis was Malik Thompson, the senior defensive tackle.
Big stop right there as Malik Thompson comes up big because that was the only man that was in front of him and some wide out space to be able to get that first down.
4th and 10.
Yeah, no, if Royster was able to just break through that last tackle, as you said, Tom, he would have probably been close to picking up that first down there, maybe even more. Certainly has the speed to do it, but nice play by Thompson to slow him down and ultimately bring him down as well. And now this punt by Copeland doesn't go very far, only goes about 15 yards. And that's from where he kicked it. From the spot of where it was, it only went about 10 compared to where the ball was snapped from. So this is going to be another great starting spot for St. Francis.
And this is actually their best starting spot is what they've caught. And you're talking about after running for touchdowns they have. So now they're going to get great field position right here. And again, this is now where Maritime has got to step up and have a big stop right here. Because if not, you could see this game get away from them and get away from them early in this first quarter.
Yeah, and they certainly know that. They've put 2 teams away early this season by building big leads. So they know very well that what could happen in this game and how hard it'll be to come back if they let St. Francis keep going on this run. First down handoff to Kidd. Goes through the tackles to the right side and picks up about 3 or 4. Nearing a minute to play in this opening quarter. St. Francis with a 14-0 lead. Certainly in no rush to score, but obviously would like to add to that lead before halftime. Otremba takes the shotgun snap, quickly gets rid of it to the right. He connects with Corsi, who runs through the middle, and he crosses the 30 and gets a first down for the Red Raiders.
Corsi, another Division I commit that we're going to be talking about right here. He's off to the University of Maine is where he's going to be going to. The tight end, senior 6'3", 248-pounder, the tight end. Boy, I'm telling you, it's just one player after another in this game.
Yeah, and that's a guy who is a big part of the St. Francis offense. First time he touched the ball tonight, though, so not a bad start for the Red Raiders when you got 14 points, but the ball's loose on that snap. Otremba Jr. able to fall on it without giving it away. But as I was saying, pretty nice for St. Francis to have a 14-0 lead without putting the ball in one of your best players' hands. But that will take us to the end of the first quarter. The clock just a second away from hitting zeros, and there it goes. So through 12 here at St. Francis, the Red Raiders on top of Maritime Health Sciences 14-0. We'll take a quick commercial break and be right back for more here on Western New York Athletics.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. A few clicks will show you the sales price you can expect for your home. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. So if it's time to sell your home, visit howardhanna.com today, and we'll match you with a local Howard Hanna agent to sell your home fast.
I love being home.
At Cairo First Wellness, your health and well-being is our passion. Let us take care of you and your family like one of our own.
Cairo First Wellness Center is dedicated to providing patients long-term relief and teaching them how to continue taking care of themselves. With a blend of different techniques, services, and personalized treatment plans, we'll help you find wellness in a way that's right for you. Between chiropractic care, spinal decompression, nutritional counseling, massage therapy, custom orthotics, and more, your relief is in our hands. If twisting, popping, and cracking intimidate you, our Pro Adjuster restores the same range of motion as a physical adjustment would with gentle, repeated tapping.
Dr. Mo at Cairo First has been taking care of my back needs for the past 4 years. His staff treats you like family. I've had the traction, I've had the massage done, and every time leave here feeling fresh.
And we're back here on WNYAthletics.com. Start of the second quarter between St. Francis and Maritime Health Sciences here at St. Francis High School in Hamburg, New York. Red Raiders currently on top 14-0. It's about to be 3rd and 12. That 2nd and 12 play a moment ago. The pass incomplete from Otremba Jr. John Simon, Tom Prince here, along with Tim Gardner, producing for us tonight. I also saw Frank Wolf a little bit earlier. He might still be wandering around here somewhere. BJ Stack is our cameraman out there battling the elements in the crowd. 3rd and 12 here. Otremba Jr. dropping back, and he gets brought down. A nice stop there by the Health Sciences defense, and they needed that after giving up back-to-back touchdowns.
Yeah, big sack. We've already called his name already. Isaiah Jean-Pierre with the big sack on that one.
And now we'll see what the Red Raiders elect to do here. They're at the 36. It's a 4th and about 17, 18 yards. So it would be a tall order to pick up a first down on this play, Tom, but they're certainly still in 4-down territory.
Yeah, like I said, they're far down where I'll be shocked they don't go for it, actually, to be honest with you. I mean, they're in that territory, like you said, and their defense has just come up big so far where why not? You've already run for big plays. You've run already 2 plays that have gone this, so why not go ahead and give it a shot then?
Yeah, and like you said, the defense has played great so far. They have really not given up anything of significance to Maritime Health Sciences. So if this is a turnover on downs, and you're giving Maritime Health Sciences still 65, 70 yards or so, that they have to go to score. But we'll see what they draw up here. Even if they get, a considerable gain, they don't have to pick up the first down. They could get a gain of 15 and pin them further back.
Or what if you go for a deep pass and throw an interception anyway? What's the big? It's just like you're going for a punt on that. So either way, I think this is an area you go for it. And you see they're in the passing scheme right now. Expect to see a long pass to try to go for this.
So they got 5 wide. Dropping back, they throw it to Corsi. It was behind him. I think he held on to it. Nope, they're going to rule it incomplete. And that'll be a turnover on downs for Health Sciences.
So big defensive stop, right? We said they had to come up big defensively there. You did not want to go down 21-0 start of the second quarter right here. Big stop. Now it's time for your offense to come out and do something. Let's see what they do differently offensively, because right now they haven't been able to move the ball besides, I think it was 2 first downs they had on that one drive where they ran for 2 first downs consecutively. We've got to start seeing them go for more and more first downs right here and start making it positive for them.
And for those that are just joining us or joined midway through the first quarter, Maritime Health Sciences playing with their backup quarterback Marvin Royster, their typical starter Jayon Washington not available this evening. And that could have something to do with the offense's slow start. However, they are primarily a running team. First down here, Royster will run it himself after bobbling the snap. And he's going to be held for no gain, but we got a couple flags thrown as well.
And there was 4 flags that went in there, which starts to wonder it's a hold.
So that'll be another penalty against Health Sciences. They had a couple on their first drive back at the beginning of the first quarter, which really slowed things down for them, didn't allow them to get off to the start that they were hoping for. And already down 14-0, getting a nice stop from the defense a moment ago. This is, a step back that you don't want to take if you're this team.
Yeah, especially after, kind of the snap comes back, bobbles the snap a little bit, and then all of a sudden you weren't going to get any yards on it anyway, and then you've got the penalty to actually have as a holding right there. It makes it even worse. And think about this. When is the last time you saw 4 different flags come in for a holding penalty like that? Normally that's some sort of personal foul penalty that you see for that.
I'm not the best at seeing those things, especially from up in the press box, but it must have been pretty egregious to notice from all those angles.
From all over the place.
So it's 1st and 20 here for the Falcons. Ball back around their own 25. Handoff here to Bridgers. He's able to spin by a tackler and move ahead for a gain of a couple. Maybe pick up a 5 or so.
And on that tackle was the name we've talked about often here. Number 1, Jimmy Scott, the defensive end, 6'2", 245-pounder.
Also listed as a running back, but St. Francis not needing his services in that department so far. With
Never know, it's still a long game.
Yeah. Kidd and Clark already doing their part, scoring the first 2 touchdowns for the Red Raiders in the first quarter. And that is where we stand with about 2:20 gone by here in the second frame. 2nd and 15 now for Health Sciences. They got 3 receivers out to Royster's left. See Copeland there in the slot. Royster dropping back, throws one up, and that one's not near anyone. Was looking on the outside for Makai Samuel, but that one was incomplete.
Yeah, you wonder if it was just a miscommunication right then, because there were a couple guys looking like they were going to go deep there, and they were going for the long ball on that one, no doubt about it. So now you got 3rd and long here again, so you're expecting to see another pass play to try to get this as a first down.
Yeah, they're going to need to get 15 here if they want to earn the first down and keep this drive going. Health Sciences, not a lot of success on 3rd down so far tonight. And I just keep watching that one matchup on the line. Just watching Scott rush every time from that defensive end spot it's something. 3rd and 15. Royster might have gotten St. Francis to jump here.
Yep, I think he did.
And we'll see what the officials call. And that's going to go against St. Francis. Offsides on the Red Raiders, so makes this 3rd down a little bit more doable for Health Sciences. Only got to get 10 now for the first down.
We got Harry Skull down in the end zone. You got Miggy Rodriguez out over here. Boy, we got Buffalo News all over the place. We saw Frank Wolf down on the field. You see the Conley Cup people, the Trench Trophy people. We've seen them all today, John.
Yeah, it's big night. Monday Night Football edition here at St. Francis. Pass out to Copeland on third down. He makes the catch, and now he's out in space, and he got the first down, but the ball's loose. And it's St. Francis football. South Park gets it to their big playmaker on third down. He does enough to pick it up, but coughs up the ball in the process. It's the second turnover of the game for Health Sciences, and once again, St. Francis takes advantage, and the Red Raiders got the ball on the Falcons side of the field once again.
And both on first down plays. If you remember the one that was coming up the sideline,
yeah,
was
they
be
would
a
be
first
picking
down
up
too.
first down. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's interesting. But, yeah, I don't know how the ball popped out there. On the last one, it was because Bridgers ran into his blocker. But that time, I didn't see who on St. Francis knocked the ball out or if Copeland just lost it. But that's an unfortunate break for Health Sciences. They would have picked up the first down, would have kept the drive going, and getting the ball into Copeland's hands would have given them some momentum. But now, St. Francis ball at the 46 of Health Sciences. Pass down the sideline there, and it's nearly intercepted. Otremba Jr. was looking for Malik Williams, but that was knocked down by number 10 of Health Sciences, Marcus Miller. And a great defensive play there, despite him dropping the interception.
Still, though, stops a big play. Interception or not, you knock it down, you still stop the big play from happening.
And I love that call there from the St. Francis offense, looking to go deep on that first play after the turnover. 2nd and 10 now, handoff to Kidd, looking to go up the middle, and he picks up a couple of yards, drags a trio of Health Sciences defenders with him in the process.
Looked like Makai Samuel was the first one in on that tackle right there. I'll tell you, that last defensive play that you saw St. Francis come out on in there, did you see Connor Black and the timing he did to get into that backfield? He really timed his blitz perfectly.
So 3rd and 7 now. Handoff to Kidd again, and he runs up the middle for a first down and a couple more. Ricardo Kidd, a sophomore back, doing a nice job right now moving the chains for St. Francis.
On the tackle was number 18, Amarian McMiller.
So they're at the 32 of Health Sciences. St. Francis looking to extend their 14-0 lead here. Otremba Jr. hands it off. It's Kidd again. Gets out to the right side. And that looks like it is enough for another first down. And he runs St. Francis inside the 20.
We've got the start of the fourth quarter at our second game that's going on, and it is still a 7-0 lead with Amherst leading North Tonawanda.
Defensive stalemate out at the home of the Lumberjacks. That's another relatively new turf stadium. I know the stadium here at St. Francis isn't new, but the turf is, and this is my first time seeing it in person. It is just a lovely, lovely place. Now we got a run here for Scott, but a flag on the far side of the field. So we'll see if this is brought back.
See, I told you. I said it was a long game.
Listen, you got a guy who's 6'2", 250 pounds that can run the football. I assume you're going to put him in there at some point. But that penalty going against St. Francis, so it's going to negate Scott's run. But it looks like the big man's going to stay in there. We'll see if he gets a couple more carries here. And this is I didn't catch what they called, Tom, but this looks like it's a sizable penalty. Okay, block on the back. Gotcha. So that's a 10-yard loss for the Red Raiders, but they'll still have it first down. 20 to go to get another. And now Scott is actually off the field. Ricardo Kidd back in. 4 receivers out wide, but they're going to go to Kidd again with the handoff. He gets up the middle for a nice gain. Might have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage before the penalty.
David Wright actually trips him up on that one, number 50 for Maritime right there. Does a good job so he doesn't advance the ball any farther.
So 2nd and 10 for St. Francis, and while this would be a very nice score for the Red Raiders, take a commanding 3-touchdown lead, it could also be a big momentum-shifting stop for Maritime. And they hand that one off to Clark. He goes up the middle for a few before taking a big shot and going down to the turf.
On the tackle, number 12, Emmanuel Cook.
Emmanuel Cook with the tackle.
So big third down right here for both teams. St. Francis trying to put this one out of reach early, and Maritime needs to come up big.
I'll hand it to Clark again. He goes up the middle and may have gotten enough for the first down. They got the marker around the Maritime 6. And they're spotting the ball right around there. So we'll see what the officials rule here. It's going to be an official's timeout. So this one must be really close. They're going to take a close look at this one before making a ruling on the first down call.
But either way, you know that St. Francis is going to go for this.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
too close down here with fourth down. So now becomes a big stop. What happens? A big play, and you're looking right. You're going to run right up and try to make something happen. It could come from your quarterback as a quarterback sneak, or your running back's going to go up right away to try to get that little yardage that's needed.
And the staff here at St. Francis was looking for a volunteer to join the chain gang right before kickoff, and they're certainly getting their workload here. And they're going to give St. Francis the first down. So Clark's run just enough to keep this drive alive. And now the Red Raiders knocking on the door of that Maritime end zone, looking to go up 3 touchdowns. 5:38 to play until halftime. St. Francis, we should also note, kicked the ball off to Maritime to start this one. So having a 3-score lead and set to receive the ball before half would be huge for the Red Raiders. There we get a first down run from Jimmy Scott. He barrels his way ahead for a gain of a couple. And it looks like it might have actually been 3. He gets down to the 2.
Perfect guy in the goal line right here. You want running the ball, right? Strength and speed combined right here.
2nd and goal now. Handoff to Scott again. And he's in. Touchdown, Red Raiders. Jimmy Scott with a 2-yard run. And that's the 3rd different player to score in this one for St. Francis. And all their scores so far coming via the ground attack.
Almost all their yards alone have been coming from the ground attack. I mean, you got to say it's almost 90 to 10%, right?
Oh yeah, they've other than the Corsi catch,
Yep.
I can't think of any other big passing play of significance. But that's all that they've needed right now is the run game. Nowak now on to attempt the extra point. He's 2 for 2 so far. Noah Koonsman, the holder.
Illegal substitution, Falcons.
And Maritime getting hit with an illegal substitution there.
St. Francis actually declined the penalty. You think San Francisco because you look at those uniforms.
So the snap is good and the kick is good. And that extends the Red Raider lead to 21-0 here. So we said that this was going to be a good one. Certainly still a lot of football left to play. But St. Francis off to an 0-2 start this year, but they got full control in this one so far. This has got to be, giving this Red Raider squad a ton of confidence, Tom.
Oh, no doubt. And we said there were a lot of things that had to happen. And the one thing you look when you have a big school versus small school was what we keep talking about was that interior line play. And so far, hands down, that's where St. Francis has won every single battle that's out there. And we talked about it. That's why they've been able to run the ball for as many yards as they've already run the ball here, right? We've got to have at least 150 yards
I mean, I would say close. I mean, if you had just in the 75 rush alone from Clark for the score, they got to be nearing
171
200.
yards rushing. 171 yards rushing to 35 yards rushing for Maritime. That's right there is your difference in the game.
Yeah, that unbalances a little shocking. But, I mean, it's not shocking if you've watched the game. You've seen how much the Red Raiders have slowed down this Health Sciences offense. I mean, this is as good as anybody's probably played them in the last 2-3 seasons.
And the other big difference right now, 2 turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
2 turnovers for Maritime's also the big key difference because both of them were for first downs, and who knows what the drive would have done if you were able to hang on to the ball.
Yeah, and typically it's turnovers that you commit close to your own end zone that hurt you immediately, but those happen more around midfield or even in St. Francis territory. But nevertheless, the Red Raiders with total control right now as they kick that one off, and Copeland returning it from around his own 15. Gets out to the right, finds some space along the sideline, now cuts up back inside, and he's still got more time to run. Copeland out past the 50, and now the ball's loose. He was going out of bounds, but it's loose and picked up by Shane Roberts. He gets knocked out of bounds inside the 25. We had flags thrown before Copeland lost the ball, though, so we'll wait and see how all this gets sorted out. But if the play stands and it's a turnover and pick up by St. Francis, this could be the final nail of the coffin for Health Sciences even before halftime.
And I hate to say it, these are all flags that normally happen as pushing the back. First down, St. Francis. Let me tell you something. Conley Cup members, if you're watching this, Shane Roberts has got 2 unbelievable fumble recoveries that he's caused, that he's come up big and be able to do something for his team. That is something that goes unnoticed, and I'm telling you, this is unbelievable what his play has been against one of the best returners out there and one of the best offensive players that we have in Western New York.
And I was going to say, Tom, he was looking to strip that ball from Copeland from the get-go. I mean, he was the last line of defense there almost. If Copeland was able to break outside to the left there more, I don't think there's anybody on St. Francis that's catching him. But Roberts got his arms around him, and he was trying to punch that ball out like Peanut Tillman, for a good 4, 5, 6 strides towards the sideline, and he was able to knock it out just before Copeland went out of bounds. So 1st and 10 now for St. Francis. Kidd gets the carry, but he's quickly brought down there. Makai Samuel, the first one in there on the tackle for Maritime Health Sciences.
And let's give Shane Roberts a little bit more pub right here, as he is actually going to be playing Division I football as a preferred walk-on at St. Francis University. So he's going to stay with the whole St. Francis team right here, but he gets a chance now to be able to play Division I also. Unbelievable. And he's showing what he can do out in this field. He has been great defensively today.
Loss of 1 for St. Francis on that last play. 2nd and 11 now, and they're going to rule that an incomplete pass. It's a shame we don't have review because that one definitely just kind of a judgment call. But they're going to blow that one down. Otremba Jr. was back to throw. He got hit as he was throwing, lost the ball. But like I said, they're going to rule that an incomplete pass.
Was my replay? Was his arm going forward? Tough to tell in the replay. Tough to tell. But no matter what, the call on the field was that it was, so it ends right there.
And that's
an unfortunate bad break there for Maritime because it could be a little bit of that momentum that they really needed. They have a big play that comes up for them, and it looked like it was Isaiah Jean-Pierre that actually comes in and makes another big play defensively for this Maritime team.
Yeah, he went right around St. Francis's left tackle, Brendan Reed, 6'6", 235-pound junior. Big body to go around. So 3rd and 11 now. Otremba Jr. back. He gets the pass away to Kidd, and Kidd's able to run forward. Is brought down inside the 20, and we'll see where the spot is, but it looks like he got enough for a first.
And on that tackle again is Isaiah Jean-Pierre again on the tackle.
And that was a nice job by Otremba Jr. to get rid of the ball because I believe it was Maurice Vaughn that came through the middle on that play, unblocked. And Otremba Jr. was able to just get the pass off before he got tackled. 1st and 10 now for St. Francis. Run there for Kidd. And he moves ahead for just a yard or two.
We've got a scoring update from our Amherst North Tonawanda game. With 7:28 left in the game, a bad snap on a punt attempt. Amherst falls on the ball in the end zone, takes a 14-0 lead over North Tonawanda.
So the Tigers looking to close that one out and get a big league win. 2nd and 9 now. Otremba Jr. looking over the middle. That one intended for Corsi, but it's incomplete, and it might have hit the hands of a member in the secondary.
Copeland thought he had it. It was Copeland who actually thought he had the interception right there as he tried to pick that one off.
That's certainly a defender you don't want to be hitting in the hands with a pass. So another nice break there for St. Francis, the second in the last couple plays on this drive. 3rd and 9 now. Otremba Jr. in the shotgun, hands it off to Clark. He tries to cut back to the middle for a few, but looks like he got stopped for little to no gain.
Ball Clark with the carry.
Boy, you see who was on that stop again?
Is it our boy Mr. Gray?
No, 52, Isaiah Jean-Pierre again. He has just been unbelievable defensively.
Gain of 1 on the play, 4th down.
Oh, we're going to go for a field goal here.
All right, so 4th and about 8. St. Francis going to go for the field goal attempt. It's Nowak who's been doing the extra point kicking and kickoffs. It's be about a 33-yard attempt. Snap's good. The kick looked all right, but it's low and short. Might have been tipped a little bit too. So that's a nice break for Maritime Health Sciences. They get the stop. They avoid giving up points, and they only got 2:17 to work with till halftime, but with the amount of guys on this team that can hit the home run play, that's more than enough for them to get points on the board before we hit the midway break.
They really can. They're just looking for that one play just to really go positive, because their positive plays have just ended with a negative.
Right.
I talked about it before this game started. Copeland is hands down one of the best special teamers I've ever seen come through this area. Really one of the best. And he was proving it right there, except for the fumble at the very end. He must have run 100 yards to get to where he was, and he was about to break it open again.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what they elect to do here. They can respond well to this stop. Royster back in the shotgun. Running backs to each side of his. Hand off there to Bridgers, and he's stopped. And that's no gain, maybe even a loss of 2 or 3. And, boy, St. Francis has done a really nice job keeping Bridgers in check.
And we've called this name a couple times today. Balam Miller's been really good today, the sophomore, the 6'5", 258-pound defensive end. He's been big. He really has. He's played very well for this defensive line.
Yeah, that size difference for St. Francis really paying dividends. Just looking at the offensive and defensive line guys on both sides, you can see, the height advantage, the weight advantage that the Red Raiders possess. And that's paying dividends for them right now. 2nd and 12 for Health Sciences, less than 90 seconds left in the first half. Royster drops back to pass, looks, and that one intended for Jameer Thomas, but it was short, bounced a couple yards in front of him.
3rd and 13.
I'll tell you, stop here. St. Francis may have enough time to still do something left in this quarter.
Yeah, again, a nice little score before halftime. We did mention St. Francis kicked off to Health Sciences to start this game, so the Red Raiders will be set to receive at the start of the 3rd quarter. And that is obviously a huge luxury with a 3-touchdown lead right now. 1:21 until half. 3rd and 13 here for Health Sciences. Royster going back, sees some pressure. He's able to avoid it. And now he's brought down, and he fumbled. St. Francis recovered.
Fumble on the play, recovered by number 1, Jimmy Scott.
So the 3rd fumble of the half for St. Francis, or for Health Sciences, results in its 3rd turnover, and St. Francis takes over again. And Tom, we said it, the first 2 turnovers didn't happen in too dangerous a territory, but now Maritime coughing it up inside their own red zone.
With only 1:14 still left in the half, so you got to think they're going to do everything they can to put this ball in right here, and it could be a 28-0 lead.
Yeah, we were saying St. Francis had plenty of time to go down the field and score if Health Sciences Maritime was going to punt after not making it on that last play, but they only got about 10, 12 yards to go until the end zone here. 1st and 10, handoff to Kidd. He goes right through the tackles for a nice gain. That's a pickup of about 7 yards, and He's inside the 5.
They went to the I formation right there. You just saw Jimmy Scott as the lead blocker right there. When you got a guy like that lead blocking for you, you expect a nice run.
I mean, he's as big as some teams' best offensive lineman. So no surprise that he can do a nice job blocking. Handoff to Kidd again. He got a yard or two on that run to the left side, but still decisively short of the goal line. It'll be 3rd and goal.
We talked about Jimmy Scott. He may be as big as him, but he's probably stronger than most of them, too.
So 30 seconds in running. St. Francis has time for maybe 2 plays. Handoff here to Scott. And they rule him a yard short. And now we get a timeout called. I believe that's St. Francis's last. And that comes with 20 seconds left in the quarter. So with the timeout, you know, we'll see what they draw up here, Tom. It's first. What does it say over there? I can't see what the yard marker says from here. I think it's 3rd. It's 1st and goal.
No, yeah, 1st and goal, but it's like they're
right on the 1. But here's
they're
the
on
thing.
it looks like the half-yard line even.
So they can't. They have probably enough time to run 2 plays if they run and then get back to the line quickly. But I would assume that they're probably drawing up a pass here and then they run for it if they don't get the pass.
I don't know.
They're trying to score.
We
do know that.
They're so effective on the run, and you really haven't seen anything negative come wise as far as the run goes.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised they just try to go right up the middle.
Well, there's 20 seconds left. St. Francis, I believe they're out of timeouts.
They are. There are no timeouts are left.
They took all of them.
Yep.
Which, smart coaching. You got a 21-0 lead, but might as well use all your timeouts that you have in the first half. 1st and goal from the half-yard line. It's going to be Otremba Jr. himself, and he takes it in with ease. Touchdown, St. Francis, and the Red Raiders now go up 4 scores.
Yeah, expected to just do some sort of run right up the middle is exactly what I was expecting there, especially with how they've been winning with the offensive line. Just go behind the big guys and make them clear the way and do something positive for your team.
And that is the 4th different player to score a rushing touchdown tonight for St. Francis. So very balanced performance from the offense. And now we got Nowak out here to kick the extra point. And that one's a little low, but he does manage to get it through the uprights. And that's a nice kick for him after the missed field goal on their last drive.
And again, I wouldn't say it was a missed field goal. I think it was tipped. Someone got in there and got their hands on it. So, absolutely, I wouldn't say as far as it was a bad kick. It was just somebody got their hands on it in there. And listen, it's if St. Francis would have told you this is how we're going to draw it up, they've done exactly what they were supposed to do today. And that's exactly why they've got a 28-0 lead right now. Maritime's going to have to go out and figure out how to sustain some of these drives. What are they going to do differently to get themselves some time? Because every time that their quarterback has tried to do something or tried to throw the ball, boy, defensively you've seen St. Francis get through there. So they're going to have to make a couple changes how to figure out to get some time for that quarterback or figure out how can we get the ball out of his hands more quickly to be able to have some effective passing there.
Well, we've said it. There is a man back there for health sciences named Addison Copeland that can change the game with one play. But he has fumbled twice in this first half. So if you're St. Francis, Tom, you might not be as worried kicking to him in this situation as you might be if this first half went a little bit differently.
Yeah, but still,
I would still keep the ball away from him. Don't get me wrong.
I'm shocked they haven't kept the ball away from him, to be honest with you. They've got no problems with it, and he has just, like I said, you've had actually really one player, Shane Roberts, been coming up big every time they've gone against him.
Yeah, he's forced both fumbles that have came out of Copeland's hands. But that one squibbed to the side opposite of Copeland. It'll be Jameer Thomas to pick it up. He touched his hand, he touched the ball, and I believe St. Francis went in and got it.
They did. It was number 47, Connor Black, who comes up with it. There's 14 seconds still left. They're going to look to try to score again.
Yeah, this would just be an unbelievable sequence here if St. Francis can get another touchdown on the board before halftime. And if you're Jameer Thomas, you just got to know he's been a return man all season for them. In that situation, with the guys coming at you that fast and them closing in that quickly, just got to fall on that ball. didn't have much time and space to pick it up and run for a gain. And that's the result that you get, in most cases on those types of plays. And now St. Francis looking to just add to this big lead before halftime. Otremba Jr. takes the shotgun snap, throws it to Corsi. He makes the catch, but he's in bounds. They'll have to rush here if they want to get another play in. We'll see if they stop the clock by spiking. They do. And St. Francis has 2 seconds left, so they'll get one more play in before half. We haven't seen the Red Raiders do too much through the air so far in this game. Corsi, really the only one making catches and picking up yards, and he's only done it, 2 or 3 times. But we'll see what Otremba Jr. does on this play. They're going to send 4 or 5 guys to the end zone here. From the 20, he throws to the right side, and that one's knocked away. A nice play there by Marcus Miller. And, Tom, that's the second nice play he's made so far in this one.
He doesn't come up with that play. That's another touchdown right
Yeah.
there. So that's actually a touchdown-saving stop right there by him.
So that is a little bit of a silver lining for Maritime Health Sciences to take into halftime. But as we hit the midway point here, it is all St. Francis. The Red Raiders on top 28-0. John Simon, Tom Prince, BJ Stack, Tim Gardner here for WNY Athletics. We'll take a halftime break ourselves and be right back for third and fourth quarter action here on WNY Athletics.
300 Level Media is a locally owned and operated multi-purpose media company right here in Western New York. You'll find us everywhere covering the Bills, Sabres, Buttes, Bisons, Big Four basketball, local college sports, and much more. Our staff offers a variety of media services, from video production, live event coverage, audio broadcasts, professional voiceovers, camera operation, and videography. Visit www.300levelmedia.com or give us a call at 716-427-2600. This is 300 Level Media.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. A few clicks will show you the sales price you can expect for your home. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. So if it's time to sell your home, visit howardhanna.com today, and we'll match you with a local Howard Hanna agent to sell your home fast.
I love being home.
At Cairo First Wellness, your health and well-being is our passion. Let us take care of you and your family like one of our own.
Cairo First Wellness Center is dedicated to providing patients long-term relief and teaching them how to continue taking care of themselves. With a blend of different techniques, services, and personalized treatment plans, we'll help you find wellness in a way that's right for you. Between chiropractic care, spinal decompression, nutritional counseling, massage therapy, custom orthotics, and more, your relief is in our hands. If twisting, popping, and cracking intimidate you, our Pro Adjuster restores the same range of motion as a physical adjustment would with gentle, repeated tapping.
Dr. Mo at Cairo First has been taking care of my back needs for the past 4 years. His staff treats you like family. I've had the traction, I've had the massage done, and every time leave here feeling fresh and brand new.
Cairo First Wellness Center. Your health and well-being. Our passion.
Call 835-WOLF. Remember, you calling the wolf. That's all you had to say. Call today.
Why do you exercise? To look better? To feel better? To drop a few pounds? To train for an event? To defy age? Or to keep your ability to say yes to the things you love to do? Whatever motivates you, G&G Fitness Equipment is here to get you there. Treadmills, ellipticals, rowers, bikes, home gyms, and accessories. We'll pair you with the right equipment, teach you how to use it, and be there every step of your fitness journey. G&G Fitness. Your goal is our goal.
There's nothing better than owning the perfect house to come home to. You've earned it, and we'll make it happen. Our local real estate experts and in-house team of financial professionals make buying or selling your home simple. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
I love being home.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA, with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics. Call our Buffalo office today for an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs. WNYathletics.com is the premier high school sports website in Western New York, providing the best sports coverage of Section 6 and Monsignor Martin leagues. Check out our page for daily game recaps and late-breaking sports news. Our online scoreboards are updated in real time. Never miss a goal or touchdown. Visit WNYathletics.com today or follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube.
300 Level Media is a locally owned and operated multi-purpose media company right here in Western New York. You'll find us everywhere covering the Bills, Sabres, Buttes, Bisons, Big Four basketball, local college sports, and much more. Our staff offers a variety of media services, from video production, live event coverage, audio broadcasts, professional voiceovers, camera operation, and videography. Visit www.300levelmedia.com or give us a call at 716-427-2600. This is 300 Level Media.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. A few clicks will show you the sales price you can expect for your home. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. So if it's time to sell your home, visit howardhanna.com today, and we'll match you with a local Howard Hanna agent to sell your home fast.
At Cairo First Wellness, your health and well-being is our passion. Let us take care of you and your family like one of our own.
Cairo First Wellness Center is dedicated to providing patients long-term relief and teaching them how to continue taking care of themselves. With a blend of different techniques, services, and personalized treatment plans, we'll help you find wellness in a way that's right for you. Between chiropractic care, spinal decompression, nutritional counseling, massage therapy, custom orthotics, and more, your relief is in our hands. If twisting, popping, and cracking intimidate you, our Pro Adjuster restores the same range of motion as a physical adjustment would with gentle, repeated tapping.
Dr. Mo at Cairo First has been taking care of my back needs for the past 4 years. His staff treats you like family. I've had the traction, I've had the massage done, and every time leave here feeling fresh and brand new.
Cairo First Wellness Center. Your health and well-being. Our passion.
Call 835-WOLF. Remember, you calling the wolf. That's all you had to say. Call today.
Why do you exercise? To look better? To feel better? To drop a few pounds? To train for an event? To defy age? Or to keep your ability to say yes to the things you love to do? Whatever motivates you, G&G Fitness Equipment is here to get you there. Treadmills, ellipticals, rowers, bikes, home gyms, and accessories. We'll pair you with the right equipment, teach you how to use it, and be there every step of your fitness journey. G&G Fitness. Your goal is our goal.
There's nothing better than owning the perfect house to come home to. You've earned it, and we'll make it happen. Our local real estate experts and in-house team of financial professionals make buying or selling your home simple. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA, with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics. Call our Buffalo office today for an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs. WNYathletics.com is the premier high school sports website in Western New York, providing the best sports coverage of Section 6 and Monsignor Martin leagues. Check out our page for daily game recaps and late-breaking sports news. Our online scoreboards are updated in real time. Never miss a goal or touchdown. Visit WNYathletics.com today or follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube.
Welcome back to WesternNewYorkAthletics.com, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, wherever you may be watching this game. We want to thank you first for tuning in, but we want to also let you know we're just about ready for second half action here at St. Francis High School between the Red Raiders and the Western New York Maritime Health Sciences Falcons. John Simon here alongside Tom Prince, Tim Gardner, BJ Stack doing some work behind the camera and on the board for us tonight. And through first half of football, 24 minutes of play, this thing has been all Red Raiders, Tom.
Yep, it really has, and they've done all the right things. Like I said, if they scripted it up, they scripted it up exactly how they wanted this to happen so far. Now the question is, listen, new game, right? If I'm Maritime, new game right now. I don't care what the scoreboard is. Start building off some positive. How do we get something positive in our favor right now to be able to start putting some points up on the board? First thing you're going to need to do, defense is going to need to come up big, make a stop to get the ball back. Defensively make it, then offensively we got to start. How do we get our quarterback a little bit more time to throw the ball? As well as when we run the ball, we've got to make sure we don't have those turnovers that happen.
The one break that Maritime got during halftime was the rain has, definitely picked up over the last 20 minutes or so here at St. Francis. The precipitation coming down a lot harder. The wind has picked up, and at the start of this third quarter, St. Francis, their offense is going to be driving into the wind right now, and Health Sciences, they got the wind at their back, so that could help the Falcons a little bit here in this third quarter. But tough hole to be in. Maritime down 28-0 and set to kick off to start the third quarter here. They were recipients of the kickoff at the beginning of this game, and now St. Francis back to return their first kick. It's Consigli. Got it. And Corsi, excuse me. I used a different player from the basketball team. And Corsi gets out past the 40 on that return. We were talking about so much St. Francis basketball in the last few minutes of halftime there. I got distracted, started thinking about Red Raider hoops, completely forgetting that there's still a football game going on out there. But we're about to see the Red Raider offense once again.
We did see the baseball team come out and practice a little bit ago, and that's where Peyton Consigli was over there getting ready for his baseball season.
Well, nevertheless, we are all set for the third quarter. 11:51 to go. St. Francis back on the field with a 28-0 lead. First down handoff here to Kidd, and he runs up the middle for about a gain of 5, but the ball's out. It's going back the other way. And that's going to be a Health Sciences touchdown.
No, Eric's saying he's down. The ref's putting down and saying he's down.
Well, Mekhi Samuel was the one that came out of that scrum with the ball and took it back to the end zone for Health Sciences. But as Tom said, the referees were ruling the St. Francis runner down. It was Ricardo Kidd. Well, this game has had quite a number of strange sequences, and this is just another one to add to the list.
And both have gone against Maritime, right? If you remember, the first one was the sack that we didn't know if that arm was coming forward, but they said it was coming forward. They were going to run that back for a touchdown. Here's a second one. They think they get a turnover. They're going to run that back for a touchdown. Both come back. Bad breaks right there for the Maritime Health Sciences team.
Yeah, and there were no breaks for them when St. Francis forced turnovers against the Falcons. So just everything seemingly right now going the Red Raiders' way, whether they can control it or not. 2nd and 5 here, handoff to Kidd, and he runs for a big gain past the 40 of Maritime Health Sciences, down around the 35. And, man, this sophomore having a heck of a game tonight for the Red Raiders.
And you see a lot of their success running the balls come right up the middle, right? Right up the gut is where they've been going, and that's where their success has been time after time running the ball, as they've already run for 183 yards.
And now we've got flags thrown prior to the snap. And I think that's, they call it a bench penalty on Health Sciences?
That's what it looks like.
Well, they had some issues with their sideline.
Coach Parker's upset. And,
certainly a reason to be right now.
Well, he's, again, trying to spark that team. He was upset. He thought his team comes out at a halftime doing exactly what we said they needed to do, come up with that defensive stop.
Yeah.
His team does it, and he wants to actually fight for his team because he thought his team did exactly what they needed to do.
Yeah, he's certainly a fiery coach. The entire sideline has a lot of character to it. First down run here for Clark. And he gets stopped, but maybe got a yard with forward progress. But they got a bench penalty in their Week 2 game against Maryville, and they were leading in that one. So it might not depend on what kind of situation they're in during the game. Maritime's bench is just always very active and conversating with the officials.
Ty Parker wears his heart on his sleeve,
Absolutely.
which is why his players love playing for him. It's exactly why.
So second down snap here. It's another run. Clark trying to fight for some yards up the middle, and he might have gotten 1 or 2 there. It's going to be third and manageable here for the Red Raiders. But, yeah, you mentioned Ty Parker wears his emotions on his sleeve. We were talking him down on the field during warm-ups before the game, and we could just hear in his voice the excitement he had coming out tonight for this game. I mean, I think if he was able to, if he had some eligibility, he would have put on the pads and helmet and played some snaps himself. So 3rd and 4 here. Handoff to Kidd. Again, they go up the middle. And again, St. Francis picks up the first down. It's been that rushing attack all night that has been the Red Raiders' bread and butter. And they're able to move the chains again. It's now 1st and goal. You just look at that size of the Red Raider offensive line lining up against that defensive front for Health Sciences. You can see why that running attack has been so good. And now we get a flag thrown after that run by Kidd.
That's going to be a hold.
And that's a nice break for Health Sciences. Small one, but it'll push St. Francis back a few yards and keep them a little further from the end zone. Still plenty of time left in this one. Little less than 3 minutes gone by in the third quarter here. One of just 2 games tonight in Western New York as far as the high school football scene. We're getting scores from the Amherst-North Tonawanda matchup earlier. First down now and goal. The pass there to Kidd. Tries to get out to the left. He's brought down. We got more laundry on the field.
Great play right there. That's going to be a push in the back. Copeland comes up with the play, and you're going to see a push in the back actually added on to that.
And as good as Copeland is at receiver and in the return game, as dangerous he can be, Coach Parker told me before the Maryville game a couple weeks ago, he's one of their best defensive players as well. He's got a 6'4" frame, but he plays at corner, and he's one of the more aggressive defensive backs we'll see in this area.
And I'll tell you, that's a tough tackle. It's an open field tackle, right? You've got to make sure he doesn't get by you out in the open field like that. Copeland comes up big, and he does it as somebody's pushing him in the back at the same time.
Well, it's a very unusual 1st and goal from the 32 here for St. Francis. A couple penalties backing the Red Raiders up significantly. Tremba Jr. in the shotgun, 3 wide to his left. He looks to the right side, though, with a pass, and it's caught. Coursey was able to leap up there and make the catch. And, Tom, they've been picking on that one corner for Health Sciences all night, Marcus Miller. He's made a few nice plays to knock down some passes, but right there, Coursey, their number 1 passing target, he goes up and gets that ball.
Why do you think Maine wants him and signed him, right? That's exactly why right there. Comes up big.
And that's a big pickup. Gain of about 17 on that catch. 2nd and goal run here for Kidd. Gains maybe 1 or 2. Looks like they'll spot him right at the 10. So it's 3rd and goal here for St. Francis. They've moved up on the last 2 plays, cut down the amount of yards to get to the goal line pretty considerably.
Nice stop there, too, by number 50, David Wright there. We've called his name a couple times today.
Mm-hmm. So 3rd and goal from the 10. 2 receivers out wide to each side for the Red Raiders. And Tremba Jr. to Coursey again. He makes the catch, fights through a couple tacklers and into the end zone. Touchdown, St. Francis. Their first one through the air tonight. It's Antonio Coursey. He's the 5th different Red Raider to score. And Franny's extends their lead to 34-0 with that score.
Coursey, listen, 6'3", 248 is what he's listed at. And, boy, he used that power and strength that he has right there to make the catch, to get in space, and then, boy, fought right through to get that touchdown. Great job there by Corsi. He just shows exactly why he was coveted to play at the next level.
And now we'll get the extra point attempt here from Nowak, and that one up and good. He's 5 for 5 tonight, and the Red Raiders lead 35-0 here with 7:14 to go in the third. They picked up right where they left off in the first half. Strong run game, moving the chains. And you know what? They've been pretty resilient, too. How about that time? They take 2 big penalties on that drive, get pushed back to the 32, and in 3 plays recover it all back and find the end zone again.
Yeah, it really is. I'll tell you this, though. Tremba right now doing a great job passing right there. You got to look at, remember we talked about sophomore right there, taking over behind center, and has done a great job to lead that there. Find Corsi on a couple plays, but led by your sophomore quarterback as Otremba comes up big also to be able to get his tight end those plays.
And I just found out it is Otremba's first passing touchdown of the season for St. Francis, so that certainly a confidence builder for this young sophomore play caller.
Forget it, the season, his first touchdown ever passing the ball, especially at this level. So because you're talking about, remember, Ritz was the quarterback here last year, so this is his first time really taking the helm at quarterback.
So 35-0 lead for St. Francis here. The rain continuing to come down here in Hamburg as we are just about 5 minutes through the second half. Nowak ready to kick it away, and he kicks this one short. It's going to be returned from about the 30 by Malachi West, and he's brought down around the 40 for Maritime.
First punt, or first kickoff, not punt, sorry, the first kickoff we saw not go anywhere near Copeland on that one.
Yeah.
As we saw, Copeland was very dangerous on the last one. Maybe it's to realize, I said, we're going to keep the ball away from him because you know he was getting ready and getting close to busting one out.
Well, health science is now certainly in uncharted waters. I mean, they had one loss last season. They were undefeated up until the state regionals, the Far West regionals. Or they made it to the state semis, I think, even. Yeah, so they were an 11-0 team before losing the playoffs last year. They're off to a 2-0 start this year, had 80 points through their first 2 games to none given up. And now they trail 35-0 here midway through the third quarter. First down, handoff to Bridgers. He's been quiet all night, and there he's kept to a short gain. And that was actually Vaughn on the run, number 9, but only picks up about 2.
If you remember, they lost to that powerhouse team, Shenango Forks, down towards the Binghamton area, who's a perennial powerhouse in New York State, state championship after state championship. It made it a game, I'll tell you that, but it went against a very strong team, which was their only loss that we talked about all year. And, but they're stepping up. They're challenging their team. Give Ty Parker credit for going after this game and challenging his players.
Yeah, and they'll still have a lot more to play in this one. Now it's Bridgers on a run, and he picks up a couple going out to the right and then through the middle. It'll be 3rd and short here, about 3 yards to get the first for Health Sciences.
Remember, everybody wants a state championship. Unfortunately, this year there won't be a state championship. So what you're going after is a sectional title. Get to that title that you want to go after. This still is a game that's going to help Western New York Maritime Health Sciences go after that state title. You're seeing one of the best right now. You got to make sure you step up against one of the best.
3rd and 3 here. Royster under center. Hands it off to Bridgers. He goes out to the right, picks up the first down and a couple more. And that's a nice run. That brings Health Sciences into St. Francis territory.
Good run. It's exactly what we saw. 3 good running plays, positive plays there for Maritime. Now build off of it, right? Got to keep moving the chains, keep going the positive. Put points on the board. You do that, you're going to give a lift to this team. Give them a lift, and who knows, anything can happen moving forward.
Yeah, the touchdowns are only going to come one at a time, and you got to start somewhere. And right now, it's just the little runs like that that are getting them closer to breaking through on the scoreboard. A win may not come in this game. It might be too late for that, but certainly can build on a lot and take it into the rest of the season, as you said. 4:50 to play, clock still running. St. Francis was looking for a penalty call there. They hand it off to Vaughn. He goes to the left side and picks up some yards before getting knocked out of bounds. So a nice run there for Maurice Vaughn. Doesn't move the chains, but picks up about 7 or 8.
Take a look at what St. Francis has done well is the blitz, getting ready to try to blitz, and it comes from number 47, Connor Black. You see him trying to get Ags. He thought he had movement. He wanted movement on that. That's what he was yelling for out there. And just so we know, Connor Black, also a player that's going to play at the next level, as he's actually committed to play at Case Wesleyan, is where he actually – Case Western, I apologize, on where he'll play at the next level, Division III football, but another player that you're going to be talking about the next level.
So it'll be 2nd and 2 here for Health Sciences from the 40 of St. Francis. Royster under center, 3 running backs behind him. Takes the snap, handoff. It's Bridgers, and he runs out for maybe a yard, depending on where they spot it here. We'll see if he got the first down.
I think he's going to be just short. Jimmy Scott, though, there on the tackle right there. But a big 3rd down here for Maritime Health Sciences.
So 3rd and 1 for Maritime. Like I said, they got the wind at their backs right now, so the rain not blowing in to the Falcons' face as they try and move this ball down the field. Royster looks like he's going to be under center. He's got Bridgers behind him in the backfield, along with Vaughn and Samuel. Royster, the snap, hands it to Samuel, runs out to the left, and I believe he got enough for a first down, and he was knocked out of bounds, but I think they made a signal to
Yeah, that's definitely a first
clock.
down. And you can see they're moving the chains right now.
Yeah. So another first down for Health Sciences. This is really their best drive of the game so far.
Absolutely the best drive of the game so far. And this is what we talked about coming out of the timeout, coming out of halftime. We said 2 things. Make defensive stops, start running the ball, and make sure no turnovers. They actually did that. They came out. They thought they got the turnover they wanted, right? And then now they're running the ball and doing exactly what they planned and they wanted to see happen at the beginning of this game.
So things starting to go well for Health Sciences. However, down 5 touchdowns right now, and now Royster brought down for a sack. Tom, you were just talking about him a moment ago. It's the big linebacker, Connor Black, and that thwarts some of the momentum that Health Sciences has been picking up on this drive.
And it was a key to the second half that we talked about. You got to give your quarterback some time to be able to throw the ball. But they had some key blitzes, and it's been Connor Black and his blitz package. When you see him come up, he has timed it beautifully every single time those blitzes, and you see he gets right back there to be able to get the sack.
Yeah, if you can find a guy or two that can time out those snaps really well. I saw it last week. Iroquois at Cheektowaga. The Chiefs got a big 31-0 win over the Warriors last week in Class B action. And, I mean, that defense, that front 7 for Iroquois, that group is something serious. They were getting great jumps off the line at every snap that night.
Iroquois Pioneer. It's the matchup we're waiting to see. That's the matchup everyone's going to be looking for in that division.
Nearing 2 minutes to play in the third quarter. 2nd and looks like 17 for Health Sciences here. Royster handing it off. It's Copeland this time. We haven't called his name too much. He picks up about 5 or 6 before getting knocked out of bounds on the St. Francis sideline.
I'm telling you, the rain's really coming down. BJ, can we ask you a favor? Can you go up into the lights and just show everybody the rain and really how bad it's coming down?
Yeah, you can just see even in front of the scoreboard there.
You could just see, really. It's really coming down.
And with the
wind. So
wind.
you can see the wind, the way it's moving. It's something that may, tough to pick up sometimes. But, BJ, thanks for showing us that just so we can get everybody a feel of exactly what's happening in the elements out there.
We had to move BJ inside at halftime. We were worried about our camera getting wet. So that'll tell you a little bit about the rain, too. 3rd and 10 for Health Sciences. Royster handing it off to Copeland again. He sheds 1 tackle, gets to the outside, and maybe got a yard. But a nice job by St. Francis there, limiting the gain. And now we got
There's
Some
they're all over. There's going to be a
activities.
personal foul penalty out there. You wonder if Copeland got pushed after that. We couldn't see because of the pile.
I think he did.
But something happened, and you would think this is going to be some sort of personal foul penalty right here.
I definitely think Copeland got a little bit of a push there. And now I'm not
now
sure
we
what
got
else
now
is happening.
we got coaches coming out, making sure they're separating.
And this is unfortunately one of the ugly things that can happen in a game like this.
No, the coaches are doing a great job of handling things, though.
Oh, yeah.
They're getting in front of their players. They're sending everybody back. Everybody's making sure.
And this is firing up the St. Francis sideline. Again, we're not really sure how the whole thing started. Copeland went out of bounds for a small gain and must have just gotten shoved a little bit. And he took a little bit extra shove on the last play time by the St. Francis sideline, and he didn't think much of it. He just kind of gave, like a good play, tap, good hustle of the guy on St. Francis. And now we get an officials timeout as they're going to have to sort things out here. And it looks like both head coaches are out on the field right now. It looks like Ty Parker is talking to Jerry Smith right around the 27-yard line.
Somebody's down over on the other sideline. We can't see because it's behind the area where there's a flag now near where the guy is down, whoever it is. You wonder, is that Copeland is what we're worried about at this point.
And if you're a health scientist, you would have a major bone to pick if you
because
get your star player hurt.
I'm looking for number one, and I don't see one right now on the sideline.
And you would see his head above the rest of his teammates too. With that 6'4" frame, he kind of stands taller than the rest of his guys. Oh, and yeah, now we're getting to point out he is over on the far right of their sideline.
Okay, so this isn't Copeland who's down on the side. So we did pick up Copeland. So, but I will say this. What I liked, both coaching staffs got out, stopped anything from happening right there, made sure there weren't anything negative that happened as far as out there on the field resulting from this. But now we're just trying to see who this is so that we can figure things out. But obviously that there is an official's timeout right here was the official that took the timeout.
And there's a chance, Tom, it might not even be a player from one of these respective sides. It might have been someone working on the sideline, someone that just got in the way, or a coach. There was a lot of bodies over there, and a lot was going on. And with the wet surface out there, too, somebody could have slipped. Yep. There's a number of things that could have happened over there leading to somebody getting hurt.
It looks like whoever it is up.
It looks like it's a coach from Maritime's side.
Yeah, it could be. Like I said, I didn't see the – they're going to go over to the bench, so let's see who takes a seat.
Whoever it is, they're in street clothes.
Yeah, so it looks like it was not a –
it's not a player that's playing in the game.
Somebody playing, exactly.
Yeah. But it's someone from the Maritime sideline. I think they're wearing, the Maritime coaching jackets.
Yeah. Or it could be a player that's just not in the game, too.
Right.
It's hard to see. So now we've got to sort this out, right? There are flags that we still have not seen what the flags are for, who's going to get called for this.
And I got to say, if you're on either side, it's a 35-0 game. You got a little less than 14 minutes left to play, with the end of the third and the beginning of the fourth. It's getting a little colder. It's raining more. It's windy. I kind of want them to just get this thing sorted and back to playing the rest of this game. It's a Monday night. We got a whole week out of us. That's just my thoughts right now. But this is the other tough thing, Tom. Maritime has been doing such a good job on this drive. They're getting a lot of momentum. They're running the ball better. And now they get this long stoppage here. That might kill, some of the confidence that they've been building up.
So let's see what happens here. We still have the refs are talking things out. Let's talk about where we're going to go the next 2 days.
Oh,
right?
yeah, let's do it.
So tomorrow we've got John and I will be out at Riverside for Burgard and Cheektowaga that we're going to see tomorrow at 7 o'clock. We've also got a second game that will happen tomorrow where West Seneca East will take on East Aurora Holland. We'll have both those games for you tomorrow here on Western New York Athletics. Then Wednesday, Thursday, we're actually going to be taking a couple days off, if you can believe it.
Yeah. Hard to believe.
And then Friday, we've got 2 games. One will be right down the road as we're going to go down to Frontier, as Frontier will be taking on Bennett in a huge matchup that will have implications towards the AA playoffs out there. And then the second game will be Jamestown heading up to Niagara Wheatfield. I'll be at the Bennett Frontier game. You'll be at the Niagara Wheatfield Jamestown game, as we'll have both of those covered then.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be awesome. That Jamestown-Niagara Wheatfield matchup should be good. Playing at Niagara Wheatfield's fantastic new facility. I got to check it out a few weeks ago with Francis Beck when they played McKinley. And the Niagara Wheatfield Falcons broke in their new turf stadium with a big win over the Macs. I know McKinley's off to a slow start, but they could give Jamestown a pretty good game.
So it looks like we're going to get this sorted out right now.
Yeah, both teams back on the field. St. Francis's defense, Maritime's offense. We're getting everything sorted out following.
So it looks like it's a penalty against St. Francis. It looks like a 15-yard penalty that we'll see here assessed.
And it all stemmed from Addison Copeland just running out of bounds on a regular play and possibly just on the receiving end of a little shove from a St. Francis defender. And then a little melee broke out, and now we're here.
Last games we're going to be doing on Saturday then. We've got Ken West versus Grand Island at 2 o'clock. Then two big games at 7 as South Park will take on Amherst after Amherst has got a big win against North Tonawanda. And then Ken East will be taking on North Tonawanda, and that's our coverage that we'll have going through the weekend.
Yeah, a lot of big games in Class A and B coming up on WNY Athletics. I have to mention I'm very upset about what would have been a matchup of 3-0 teams in Class A being put on pause. Sweet Home and Will South. The Panthers and Billies both off to great starts this year, but that one going to be delayed for a little bit while the Panthers are on a COVID break. But like Tom said, we got plenty of action coming up this week for you guys nonetheless. You wouldn't believe it, but 8 games is like a relatively slow week for us. But we're still bringing you guys a ton of high school football.
Normally 8 games is what I do myself.
Right, yeah.
It's for our 15, 16 games that we're doing.
But, I mean, we're just about halfway through the regular season so far in this fall to spring month-long football season, and it's been, fly by the seat of our pants sort of deal, but it's been fun. The guys are out playing. You people are watching. We're here working. Everybody's benefiting. And now we're back to football. First and goal for Health Sciences. They're at the 9-yard line of St. Francis. Handoff to Vaughn, and he gets brought down for no gain. Kid in there on the tackle, along with Nate Henrich. And who else but Connor Black. Takes us inside 90 seconds to play in this third quarter. And I mentioned before, Health Sciences had the benefit of having the wind and rain at their backs in this third quarter, but with time winding down, they may not get a score with that advantage. Run play there by Bridgers, snuffed out quick.
Stuffed out by you-know-who, number 1, Jimmy Smith right there. Jimmy Scott, I apologize. Jimmy Scott right there.
And that defense for St. I mentioned, Tom, that long break just now with the penalties and the officials sorting everything out. It was a long break for the Health Sciences offense. It's a long break for the St. Francis defense, too. They picked up right where they left off. They get a couple nice, no gains, stops here.
And it was constant positive gains that we saw for Maritime coming out of this, right? It was positive run. Even that run that went out was still a 1-yard gain, which could have been a big loss.
Right.
Everything was positive besides the 1 sack on the pass play they did. But running the ball, everything was positive so far.
Third and goal here now from the 12 for Maritime Health Sciences. That last play was a loss of 2, and this could very well be the last play of the quarter. Royster takes the shotgun snap, looking for Copeland in the corner of the end zone. He has him open, but it's incomplete. And Copeland may have caught the pass out of bounds anyways, but that ball hits the turf, and there is some time left, 4 seconds. But we get another officials timeout as there's a St. Francis player down out of bounds back behind the end zone.
Holding his leg. I hope he's okay out there.
Yeah, and I don't really know what could have happened. It might have landed just hard on the track. Copeland was, like I said, fishing for that ball out of bounds. His momentum took him that way, and it might have done the same thing for the defender.
So as we wait to find out that he's okay, Why don't we tell everybody who the Conley Cup nominees were for this week, or the top performers. They're not going to give a Conley Cup award out this year, but each week they're still doing the recognition of some of the top players this week. This week's players started include Colton Baker of Springfield, Trey Drake at Jamestown, as we got to see Trey have a fantastic game out there. Brian Fry, Medina, I got to cover him. He was unbelievable running the ball for them. Looks like we got him up. Looks like 22 was Clark.
Yeah, that was Clark, yeah. So, I mean, we've seen St. Francis use a number of guys on their backfield tonight, but for the offense, that could be a big blow, losing Clark, and on the defensive side as well.
Yeah, so let's do these real quick. Jaden Jennings of Timon, Trey Kleitz of Iroquois, Kevin Lewis of Bennett, Landon Martinelli of Casadega Valley Falconer, Trevor Masako of Eden North Collins, Lucas McKenna, Salamanca, Adam Meats of Akron, Ivory Parker of Hutch Tech, Jeremiah Presley of Lackawanna, John Swabick of CPS, Manuel Samuel of O'Hara, and Nick Whitfield of Fredonia. I got to see a lot of those happen, too. There were a lot of big jobs done well by a couple of those guys.
So Clark back on the St. Francis sideline. It's 4th and goal here for Maritime Health Sciences from the 12. They'll be the final play of the third quarter with just 4 ticks left in the frame. Royster takes the snap, escapes some pressure, but the ball's out of his hands. It's on the ground. It's scooped up by the Red Raiders, and that is how the third quarter will come to a close. Jimmy Scott recovering that one, and it would have been a turnover on downs anyways, but St. Francis picking up a couple of yards with that fumble recovery. But that will do it. We're through 3 quarters here at St. Francis. The Red Raiders on top 35-0. We'll take a quick break and be right back for fourth quarter action here on WNY Athletics.
At Cairo First Wellness, your health and well-being is our passion. Let us take care of you and your family like one of our own.
Cairo First Wellness Center is dedicated to providing patients long-term relief and teaching them how to continue taking care of themselves. With a blend of different techniques, services, and personalized treatment plans, we'll help you find wellness in a way that's right for you. Between chiropractic care, spinal decompression, nutritional counseling, massage therapy, custom orthotics, and more, your relief is in our hands. If twisting, popping, and cracking intimidate you, our Pro Adjuster restores the same range of motion as a physical adjustment would with gentle, repeated tapping.
Dr. Mo at Cairo First has been taking care of my back needs for the past 4 years. His staff treats you like family. I've had the traction, I've had the massage done, and every time leave here feeling fresh and brand new.
Cairo First Wellness Center. Your health and well-being. Our passion.
Are you in pain from a no-fault car accident? Don't wait. Call RES Physical Medicine and Rehab today and take advantage of our 24 to 48-hour appointment pledge. One of our medical professionals will see you within 48 hours. RES offers DXD imaging for a more accurate diagnosis in less time. This allows our doctors to coordinate the most effective treatment plan to get you on your way to recovery faster. Feel better with RES Physical Medicine and Rehab. Click or call today to learn more.
And we're back. John Simon, Tom Prince for WNY Athletics coming to you live from St. Francis for this Section 6 versus Monsignor Martin boys football matchup. Fourth quarter getting underway here. St. Francis leading Maritime Health Sciences 35-0.
That first run off there by Gavin Calkins is the first one with a run as he runs for, looks like 8 yards, so it's 2nd and 2.
St. Francis getting the ball back after forcing a fumble on a 4th and goal play at the end of the third quarter. It's Calkins again. However, he's stopped there. Might have picked up a yard with forward progress. And that'll make it 3rd and short for the St. Francis Red Raiders here.
Western New York Maritime Health Sciences looking to make a big stop right here, try to get the ball back. Had their best drive so far the entire game as they took it down to originally the 8-yard line is where it was.
Just couldn't finish it with a score. And that's really just been the story of the night for Health Sciences. They've improved over the course of the game, but just haven't found the end zone. 3rd and short chance here for St. Francis. They were looking to run it, but Calkins gets stopped. It's a loss of a couple yards. And that'll bring up 4th down, assuming we'll just see a punt here.
Yeah, and that loss, great job there by Addison Copeland as he makes that tackle, right, for a loss. And you're going to see they're going to come out and punt the ball. Great job defensively as Maritime answers right now with the defense. Now you've got to punt it to Copeland as he's going to look to do what he does well in the special teams.
Copeland will be looking into the rain on this punt return. The wind is blowing in his direction. So we'll see if that affects the play at all. Punt is away from Roberts. And that one's going to land around the 45, nowhere near Copeland. And St. Francis is going to down it at about the 42, maybe 43 of Health Sciences. Pretty nice punt, relatively speaking. I'm sure they don't want to give it to Copeland, give him a chance to make a play on the punt return. And with the way that this Maritime offense has been tonight, despite their last couple drives being pretty good, I don't think St. Francis is too uncomfortable giving them a relatively short field here. But they'll get a favorable starting spot at their own 43. And as we said, comeback, to tie or win this game may be out of the question at this point for the Falcons. But with a couple regular season games left, and for them, the B playoffs certainly, that's certainly in the mix. They can work on a couple of things and use those improvements going into the last couple weeks of the season, and of course even into next fall.
Yeah, well, what you're going to look down is to break the film down here is how you're going to learn it, right? I'm going to break the film down, and I'm going to look at where can we improve. How can we get better with blocks on the line? How can we get better with positions, right? How can we get better of where our guys were positioned? What did we do really well still here that we can build off of, especially when we stopped drives and we did things where we came up with big plays for a loss. All those things you got to build on to be able to get you ready for that big game that you're going to see inside your own division.
We should mention, a couple guys from Health Sciences missing. They're missing their typical starting quarterback, Jayon Washington, but St. Francis, they're missing some guys as well. Coach Smith told me they got 5 starters out this week, due to injuries and whatever else.
And one is their receivers. One is a big receiver. Tommy Bestpitch is one of the guys that they're missing. Mm-hmm. You're talking about a kid that could go 4.5 what he could run out there. He's got some wheels, and I'm telling you, he's a threat out there with the wide receiver. Got injured in the game just before the Canisius game. Still played in the Canisius game. Knee kind of swelled up on him, and that's why you're seeing him sit out right now. But I'll tell you, that's a big receiver that St. Francis is missing.
Well, St. Francis, on the cusp of getting their first win of the season here.
By the way, just a quick update. St. Francis has run for 224 yards today.
Pretty good. First down, handoff here. That's Bridgers, who gets out across the 35, inside the 30, and is brought all the way down to the 25 of St. Francis. A nice run there from Mekhi Bridgers.
We got another injury out there.
But, yeah, that's another St. Francis player down. I believe that is Balaam Miller.
Yeah.
Might have just gotten his leg twisted up or something.
Let's hope he's okay.
But we get another.
And Copeland saw it, too, and Copeland was helping call guys over. I love that sportsmanship right there as he was trying to help him out.
And Miller just going to slide off to the Red Raider sideline to get looked at.
Yeah, let's hope it's just a cramp. It looks like they lifted him up like that, which is usually a sign of cramping right there, that they're trying to stretch him out. So hopefully that's exactly what it is.
Under 9 minutes to play in this one. 8:52 in running. 35-0 lead for St. Francis still. Marvin Royster under center for Health Sciences. Takes the snap, hands it off, and that is a quick run up the middle for just a yard or two by Mekhi Samuel.
And Calkins, who was running the ball, now comes up defensively as he makes that tackle right there. The outside linebacker, 5'10", 185-pounder, and he is a junior.
So as I mentioned, St. Francis 0-2 coming into this one. Couple hard-fought games against Canisius and then Corning Painted Post, which was a game that they rescheduled just a day or two before it was played.
Yeah.
Didn't have a lot of notice to prepare for that one. And talking to Coach Smith, I asked him, did having a short prep for that one game make preparing for this game, another game that you learned about on short notice, any easier? And he said, with this COVID thing, nothing is easy. But, it's been relatively easy for them tonight, or at least it seems that way, as we get another nice play there. Again, it's Calkins coming up with the tackle. So while Smith said it wasn't easy to prepare for this game, St. Francis certainly doing a nice job against Health Sciences tonight. It's been pretty clear they were well prepared for this game.
And that game that was supposed to be, that they played against Corning, was supposed to be a St. Joe's game.
Mm-hmm.
So you're talking about this is going to be the big matchup, like a rivalry matchup, right? St. Joe's, St. Francis is a rivalry game, just like a Canisius St. Francis game is. Either way, those three are all rivalry games in the Monsignor Martin Conference.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get a chance to play it, and now you're all pumped for this game, and now you're going to a team you know nothing about as players.
And that was the second St. Francis game that they've had delayed this season. Their opener against Canisius, which they eventually did play, had to be rescheduled because St. Francis went on pause. So while they've only had one pause with their team themselves, they've had to deal with two this year. And through the first 3 weeks of the season, that's just been a lot for the Red Raiders to manage. But we get another nice run there from Health Sciences. But it'll bring up 4th and short.
But I love the fact Ty Parker took this game.
Mm-hmm.
I love the fact that he wanted to play this game. He wanted his players to see the competition. He wanted them to get better by that competition. Give Ty Parker a ton of credit here. I still love this move that he does. And I'm telling you, he's going to end up turning this into a positive by the end of the season. He really is.
And just looking at the St. Francis sideline, Balan Miller on the bench, still getting his leg looked at, but he appears to be feeling a little bit better than he did a minute ago. Royster takes the shotgun snap, scrambles to some free space, looks to throw. He gets it away, and it's caught in the end zone. Oh, no, it's incomplete.
He dropped it. Oh, I thought he caught it too.
I thought that Jameer Thomas had made the catch and gotten Health Sciences on the board, but with the rain out there, the water coming down, might have just slipped out of his hands.
I think it was 21. Yeah, it was 21. 21 is Malachi West from Maritime that just came out of his hands. It looked like he had that touchdown there.
And that was on 4th down, so it'll be a turnover on downs.
You see his teammates right there consoling him. But, yeah, West, I thought he had it right there.
So under 6 to play. The St. Francis offense back on the field, and it looks like we're going to be getting a different quarterback in there now. It's Nate Henrich, 6'5" junior.
I think you're going to see nothing but running from here. Just take that clock down.
Oh, and Henrich
I'm
looking
wrong.
to throw on 1st down there. And after getting some pressure, he takes it himself, picks up a few yards. So a nice play there, turning something that could have been nothing into a short gain. Yeah. Keeps the clock moving too, which obviously St. Francis likes. Like I said, have played 2 games this year, looking to get their first victory. Maritime Health Sciences was 2-0 coming into this game, but they'll drop to 2-1. However, can't take a lot of stock from a non-league loss. It's not really going to affect them in their push for the Class B playoffs here in Section 6. They'll still have a couple more league games to play in the regular season before the postseason. 2nd down, Henrich trying to go for that same pass to the right side, but this time Health Sciences defense able to bring him down.
Henrich on the keeper.
Now nearing 4.5 to play. It'll be 3rd and about 9. For St. Francis here.
Still, you want to see it. Maritime. Let's get a stop. Let's get something positive. Let's get points on the board.
Handoff here. That's run by Pat Wagoner, but we got a flag. And it looks like it was a false start call against St. Francis just as the snap was happening. And that'll back them up some yards here, so it'll make the 3rd down a little bit tougher to pick up.
Especially David Wright makes a nice play, tackle on that one, which would have brought up 4th down right there.
Clock's still running. St. Francis in no rush to get this next play off. Henrich takes the snap. Tried to hand it off, but the ball's loose. And it looks like St. Francis was able to recover it. So a nice break for them, and they'll assumingly just punt it away on 4th down here. And they'll have to be a little bit careful with this play, Tom. Don't want to snap the ball out of your own end zone. Put some points on the board for Health Sciences and give them the ball back.
Well, they're going to get some great field position right here. Look at where Copeland's standing. Copeland's standing not even at the 40-yard line. He's got to back up a little bit.
Roberts is going to punt this one from his own end zone. He gets a nice kick away. Copeland going to let that one hit the turf and just bounce and roll.
Oh, what a bounce here for St. Francis.
And they got the wind helping them a little bit. They'll down that right around the Health Sciences 40. And that could very well be the final possession for the Red Raider offense, unless their defense gets another quick stop here on Maritime. But, you know, you said you'd assume we would see all runs from Health Sciences there. The passing game hasn't really worked tonight for Maritime, so I wonder if they just keep it on the ground for the final few minutes here as well.
Well, listen, that could have been a pass for a touchdown right there.
That's
it was
very
a great
true.
pass right there.
They've made that look to that side of the field a number of times tonight, but
total yards tonight, 285 yards for St. Francis versus 82 yards to Maritime Health Sciences. And 72 of those 82 yards have come on the ground for Maritime. And then 229 of the 285 yards come on the ground for St. Francis.
pretty impressive night for the run game for the Red Raiders. And on 1st down there, Royster's pass falling incomplete. Might have been a miscue because couldn't really tell who that was intended for. Copeland was out wide, but he didn't even start his route when the ball was thrown.
Well, we talked about how Royster has not had a lot of time to throw the ball today. And it was how we had to talk about how when they went to halftime, how were they going to get him some more time to be able to throw the ball. That possession that they went for the touchdown was the first time, but he rolls out to get himself some more time.
2nd and 10 here for Health Sciences. Royster handing it off to Bridgers. He's able to avoid a couple tackles before finally getting knocked. Oh,
Look
no,
at
he's
this.
still up. I thought he got pushed back, but now Bridgers is down the left sideline. He's got nothing but space in front of him, and he's finally knocked out of bounds.
Oh, and that's going to be a late hit, too.
Inside the 10, but we got a flag.
John, I thought he got tackled 3 times back here.
Yeah, I mean, I knew he broke the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd tacklers. It looked like the 4th finally got him right around midfield inside that St. Francis logo. But he just bursted away from the pack. I didn't know how he got out of there.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. They threw the flag to the ref. I thought they were throwing another one there. They threw it to the ref. I apologize.
Well, the break's going Health Sciences' way right now, and a big pickup there by Bridgers puts them inside the 10, inside the 5, really, of St. Francis. And this is only the 2nd time we've seen Health Sciences this close to the St. Francis end zone tonight. They'll have a chance to get their first points on the board. Royster hands it off, and Bridgers runs that one in. So he's able to follow up that big run with a touchdown scamper. It's Maritime Health Sciences' first points of the night. They're finally on the board. It's 35-6, St. Francis ahead.
And we'll see them probably go for the 2-point conversion is what we'll see them do.
Yeah, I don't recall them ever attempting an extra point against Maryvale, and they scored a number of touchdowns in that one. So we'll see them go for 2 here with 2:45 to go. Mackay Bridgers with a big run followed up by a 4-yard touchdown run has Health Sciences on the board. Snap is bobbled. It's on the ground. And that'll lead to an unsuccessful conversion for Health Sciences. Tough play to really see run after you got a little bit of confidence or momentum with that touchdown.
and that's exactly what you do. We talked about what you're trying to do now as Ty Parker is to get yourself some positive stuff, right? Some sort of momentum to come out of this game to say, hey, here's what we can build off of, right? Here's the positive. And then you've got to say is, here's what my running backs did. Huge to be able to finish this one off as they get themselves into triple digits in yardage right now, sitting at 128 yards is what they're sitting at for rush yards right now. And that's the positive you've got to build off right there.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, finishing a game with less than 100 total yards is just tough for any team, especially a team with this much talent, speed, athleticism, what they bring to the field. And they put up 80 points combined in their first 2 games and shut their 2 opponents out. So just to have the script flipped on them this week is, got to be tough for Health Sciences. But the late touchdown should give them, some positives to take away from this. One thing I don't think we've mentioned yet, our officiating crew tonight, head referee Paul Gagliardi, umpire Craig Donnelly, headlines Jerry Inglett, line judge Dave Sabotis, and our back judge Jim Martek. So I want to thank those guys for coming out here tonight, officiating, doing a nice job. There was a couple times where they really had to step in and do their job, and they're out there battling the elements just like everybody else on the field. But got to give a shout out to our officials. Always nice to have them. We couldn't play without them, really. Kickoff just over the 35, and St. Francis is just going to fall on that. That's Anthony Domagola, junior receiver, making sure that one stays in possession of the Red Raiders. And that might just be a situation, Tom, where, you're not a typical starter maybe. You're getting some time in a game that's already considered, probably over for your team. But you don't want to screw up there. It's an opportunity for you maybe return, but it's also an opportunity where you might fumble in the rain. And I think he was just wanted to be safe and smart there and fall on that ball. But 2:43 to play. St. Francis protecting a 29-point lead. Nate Henrich still in there at quarterback. He took over last series for Tremba Jr. Hands that one off to Calkins. But he gets stopped a yard or two behind the line of scrimmage.
And Copeland comes up again as he's down low on that one. Joining him on that tackle was Isaiah Jean-Pierre, joining him on the tackle. So you've got 2 names that we've been calling defensively for Maritime Health Sciences stepping up on that tackle for a 1-yard loss.
Clock winding, close to 2 minutes to play in this one. Shotgun snap. Henrich can't handle it. He's got to just fall on it. And while we talk about Health Sciences having some positives to take away from the end of this game, getting their first score, having a couple nice offensive drives in the final quarter, I know they're putting in some of the backups, but, man, St. Francis is getting just a little sloppy out there in the last couple minutes here.
Well, like you said, but they've also been guys that could be standing on the sideline in this rain for how long, too.
Right, you got to take that into consideration. Like I said, quite a comfortable lead here, up 29. Hedrich drops back, and he's hit hard. The ball's loose again. And I think it was recovered by Health Sciences this time. We'll see how the officials rule it. And nope, they're going to keep it with St. Francis, but it'll be 4th down. And with the clock still running, the Red Raiders will punt this one away. And, Health Sciences has time to run a play or two if they choose. Want to work on some things before
I'm sure they're going to
over.
choose, and they're going to try to get in that end zone.
Yeah. Now 50 seconds to go in this one. St. Francis ready to punt this one away. It's booted by Roberts. Copeland. It goes off his helmet. He misplayed it. And the ball's rolling back to the 30. Health Sciences still can't get it. They finally do. That's Marcus Miller falling on it. He was the 3rd Falcon to touch that ball. And that's, I don't know what else to say for Health Sciences other than that's the best possible thing that could have come out of that for them after it hit Copeland's helmet. I mean, that's just a terrible way to end this game if that's how it goes for them.
You know, it's kind of how this game has gone. I hate to say it, right?
Yeah.
There's been unfortunate some key turnovers that have happened in this game, and it was almost another one right there, but it was kind of indicative of how the first half went.
Yeah, it's just that one play is just the story of this entire game for Health Sciences. In Copeland, you know, I said the rain coming into his face from that side, it might play a factor, and he just misjudged that kick a little, and it was enough for the ball to go off his helmet and back another 20, 30 yards.
Yeah, just thankful that they recovered it.
So with 34 seconds left, Maritime will run a play or two, or maybe three, depending how many they can get off. Royster under center for this one. Pitches it back. It's Thomas. Takes it to the outside and is knocked out of bounds. That's Jameer Thomas's first carry, I believe. They've looked for him a couple times in the passing game, and he's back on kick returns with Copeland, but hasn't been in the backfield too much tonight. But gets a nice carry there. It was enough to get a first down. Moves the chains out to the 32 of Health Sciences.
1st and 10 from the 32.
And him getting out of bounds and pick up the first down, stop the clock for them as well, which helps the Falcons. Royster again, handing it off. I believe that was Thomas. Couldn't really see the number, but picks up 6 or 7 on that carry before being brought down. It was Vaughn.
Vaughn with the carry.
And that brings the clock inside 10 seconds. It's still running. We'll see if Health Sciences gets one more snap off. And I don't believe they will. Nope, the clock hits zeros. And that will do it. Final from St. Francis tonight. The Red Raiders get their first victory of the season, downing Maritime Health Sciences by a score of 35-6. And Tom, the big story of the game for the Red Raiders tonight, it was winning the battle in the trenches like you said, and it led to a fantastic night in the run game.
Yeah, no doubt about it. As like we talked about, looks like rush yards, 214 yards is what rushing yards that St. Francis is going to have, and that's your difference of the game right there. Big win for St. Francis. That's how to kick things off. Need a positive win to start moving forward. They still got St. Joe's. They still got Canisius. We're still going to see another big one right there. Can't wait to see how both teams finish the rest of the way.
Yeah, and as for Maritime Health Sciences, they dropped to 2-1 on the year, but they're still 2-0 in their league in B2. They've got a game that they still have to, I believe they're still going to play that Burgar game.
No.
They're not. So they got 2 regular season games left on their schedule. They'll be at Lakeshore on April 23rd and then at Dunkirk on April 30th. But like I said, for Maritime, the B playoffs still very much, on the radar for them. They're in the running for that. So we'll see how they improve on this loss. But a big thanks to Tim Gardner, BJ Stack, our producer, and camera guys tonight. They did a great job working behind the scenes for us. I want to thank Tom Prince for providing color commentary. And I want to thank you all for tuning in tonight. It was a great game, very unusual, private versus public school matchup, but it was a fun one. And St. Francis gets the 35-6 victory. And that'll be it. So again, for Tom Prince, I'm John Simon. Thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you next time for more high school sports action here on WNY Athletics.